30th.
It's just so easy to get.
Yeah.
As long as you get like the standing 4 into knife toss at the right timing, everything else is and then cancel and catch that back one.
Yeah.
As long as you get that starting bit, the rest of it's just like basically B and B stuff.
Yeah. Is this actually started? I think my stream's actually started.
Oh, is it?
I'm not too sure.
And we're live.
Yeah, and we're live.
Yeah, it has.
Oh, is it really? Oh dear.
Oh no, wait. Is this your video from yesterday? No, yeah, it's live now.
Oh right, okay.
I have it in front of me.
Nice. Right, okay. Right, well, in that case then, basically, but yeah, basically I've just messed up, so with that said, yeah, let's go for another messed up intro, shall we? Mad. Love it, mate. So, yo, what's going on, guys? It's Lou from Lou's Life, and welcome to another podcast with me. And yeah, today we're actually going to be having a guest with me. So this is actually one of my boys. We've been like going on for God knows how many years of like talking about Mortal Kombat and playing the games. And yeah, and so yeah, introduce yourself to Bill, I suppose.
What's going on, man?
Mate.
Yeah, my name's Bill. On PSN, I go down as Bootstrapville92.
Yeah.
On Instagram, I'm down as SS7 Sneakers. And then on Twitter, I messed up and missed the T in boot. I think it's Bootstrap92. But I've been on Lou's Twitter feed for a little bit, so you'll probably find me in the comment section there.
That's it.
But yeah,
that's it.
What's good?
Yeah, what's going on? So yeah, I'm actually like obviously this is going to be a bit different for some of the other guys because like we're actually going to be playing a bit of Mortal Kombat 11 as well. Like just to keep it interesting because like me and Bill have been playing like Mortal Kombat X for God, Bill, like how long, man?
Well, we basically started playing MKX since the day it came out.
That's it.
We both dabbled a little bit in MK9, but I know for me personally, my true love of MK kicked off in MKX because it was just week in, week out, making sure that we was like, you know, me, you, Ludeman, just grinding, learning, labbing, everything.
Mate.
It was so good.
God, it was just so good, wasn't it? Like, I was even, like, some of you guys may actually know, when I was talking about my podcast, or in my podcast, I was actually saying, like, I was watching it with a friend, like, that was Ludeman. I've mentioned him a few times in, like, a few of my other videos as well. And, yeah, we just literally smashed it so much, didn't we, Bill? Like, back in the day. Just...
Oh, God. Mate, it was literally every weekend. Like, until Injustice 2 come out, every weekend we was meeting up and grinding that game from Friday night until Sunday night.
Yeah, God. It was just so sick. Like, it was honestly just insane how much we was into it. And we're still into it now. Like, obviously we're, like, doing the podcast for the film. So, I mean, like, yeah, it's going to be a real good time. Like, I'm just actually waiting for a little bit longer. So, like, for you guys that will probably be watching this when it's uploaded, I'll do like a timestamp, so you'll be able to like just scroll on. But we're actually just gonna wait for get to like 20 past 2. 20 past 2. Sorry, God fuck's sake. 2 o'clock, just to let like some people to actually come in, get involved with the chat, and yeah, we'll go from there.
The actual set time of the stream.
Actual set time, because honestly, the amount of times I've actually messed this up, like, really, is absolutely unbelievable. But like, hey, we're...
After I watched the film yesterday, went back onto your YouTube channel because you'd finished your stream by then, and I started to watch it. I think I got about half an hour into it, and it just the start of it.
It was what? Sorry.
The start of your stream yesterday just cracked.
Oh, oh God.
Oh no, yeah, we're live. All right, cool. Yeah, we're gonna go with it.
Yeah, so, like, it's funny you say that, right? So, like, oh, God's sake. Like, so what happened was, right, I had this whole thing set up, like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do a stream tonight, like, it's the review, like, because the video, like, I'd done a review before, and I just filmed it, and I loved, like, what I said in it, and then, but, like, when it came to, like, the video editing kind of things, you know what I'm like, Bill, like, it just, unless it's, like, perfect, I won't release it, so I was just like, you know what, like, perfect opportunity, like, I'm just gonna go live, just talk to somebody, like, the guys, and just go nuts, kind of thing. And it worked so much better, I think. But then obviously, like, having the first, like, 20 minutes, when I said, like, join the chat at, like, 8 o'clock, and then it ended up, like, being, like, 20 past 8, like, I saw the chat going off, saying, like, oh, where's Lou, where's that, like, what's going on, I can't see Lou. And then it was actually, like, down to, like, Dave Savage, who was just like, oh, Lou, you need to, like, sort out your, or actually press stream. I'm like, what? Why, what, can't you guys actually hear me? Like, what's going on? I literally, just on the top right of the screen, it was like start stream, but like it was recording for like 45 minutes. I was like, oh my God, I've literally just been talking to myself for 45 minutes. But oh God, but yeah, mate, it was a cracker, absolute cracker. But mate, it was a good one. Just give it like a couple more minutes. I'm just like sharing it on Twitter as well. And then I'm gonna just actually see if we can. I'll get the notifications up through my phone as well, just to see who's actually talking and whatnot. Oh, turn that down. I can hear myself. Oh dear. So, yeah. So, how's things with you, Bill? Like, did you actually? Obviously, we'll go into the actual proper stream in like 4 minutes, but just like a little rundown. Did you actually like the film?
I think, to be perfectly honest, like, no matter what I say, I'll just end up going on a rant. So I'll wait until 2 o'clock, and then we'll start the official version.
I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready. That's fine. That is fine. Right. So, what do you actually want to?
In terms of how things going, yeah, things are going well, man. I'm an MK11 still. You know, I think a lot of people have a lot of mixed reviews about the game, but for me, it's got a lot of potential. There's obviously a lot of things that they need to do fixes on, and, you know, some debuffs. Some characters need to have some buffs. Yeah. A lot of characters need to have some tweaks here and there. I wish, the only thing I know that I would like to have back in there, which I know that you definitely would be the running mechanism.
Oh God, yes. God.
I think if they kept that one mechanism in the game, this game would have surpassed MKX by a long mark.
Yeah. I think it's just. I think there's just a few things with this. Like, I'm not too sure how I really feel about the crush and blows, because like when it first actually was about, I was like, okay, this is sick and blah blah blah. But like, it's just having like the right. Yeah, it is. I suppose it's like it's a good and a bad thing, but it's just like the guessing game kind of thing where like. I don't know, with MKX, like, you could kind of see something like happening, and like, I don't know, even if they were like jumping in, like for me with Kung Lao, having like the Tempest like spin and just catching that, like you can then have like a 27%, or like even, no, it was more than that, I think it was like up to 30 marks.
Yeah, come on, Lou, let's be reasonable, mate. It was Kung Lao back in the day. It was at least 30% meterless.
Literally everything was meterless 30% with Lao, I swear to God.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I mean, like, the crushing blow mechanism and the system in general is a great concept. I think that there's just a lot of characters that really benefit from it, and they're characters that maybe especially in online ranked matches and Combat League. They're the type of characters that you really hate to come up against. My first example is Jade. Because the reach on that down two and everything, we all know how much they love to just spam it. So it's something that happens a little bit too often to a couple of the characters that I play. And that's for me just maybe throwing out a bit of a footsie tool, trying to test range and stuff like that. Obviously, testing range against Jade is a bad idea because you're just going to get done every time. But yeah, I think it's a great concept. Just maybe they should tweak it for certain characters and how it's able to be used, what kind of interaction it has, what their damage output afterwards is, all kinds of things.
That's fair. I mean, that is fair. I mean, it's I think with this game, for me personally, it's just like I've struggled so much just to find a character that I'm like, I just want to drill as much as I did, like for Kung Lao. Like, obviously, like Kung Lao I saw like from Evo, really. Like, I saw like all the build-ups before, but when I saw like Foxy Grandpa back in, was it 2015, when he was fighting in Evo for Sonic Fox?
2015.
Was it 15?
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah, because was it after the Summer Jam thing? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, he obviously, like, Foxy Grandpa went up against Sonic then, and like just leading up to that point anyway, like Foxy was like just on point. I just loved his style and everything else, and that's what like made me get into Kung Lao. But then going from here, I'm not too sure. It's just like I've just seen so many different characters, and I've gone, that's sick, that is sick, but there's still like, it's not enough to like fully grab me into wanting to play.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's it. So that's why I'm actually hitting up with Liu Kang anyway. Like, he's that something for me, you know. So
he's always been that character for you, though.
Oh, yeah, well, Liu Kang and Kung Lao, they always have been. Like, I've always, like, even playing, like, from a little kid, like, going to Roller City, Bill, like, back in the day, there was a Mortal Kombat, like, arcade machine there, man, and I absolutely rinsed it. Like, every single time, like, my dad used to take me out there, man, I just absolutely killed it. Like, I loved it, man. So, and it was just them two characters.
Shout out Roller City.
Shout out to Roller City, mate. Like, thanks for reopening it after you got closed down. Loved it. Never come back, but like we're gonna be coming back. Don't worry, at some point, I'm sure.
Especially if they got that MK machine, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, that's it. So right, so here we are at 2:00. Let's just have a look. Yo, so we've got some people actually joining in with us at the moment. So we've got Cal Brick Films. Yo, what's going on, my man? Bill, I don't know if you actually had the opportunity to have a look at my video at all, pal, but Cal Brick Films was actually mentioned in one of my videos for doing his Lego animations. Yes. So the man himself, like, yeah, he's sick, mate. He's actually been doing like some other posters and stuff in the meantime, like since the film's actually been released. So yeah, welcome Cal, and also Vasi, always joining on the streams. Love it. Thank you ever so much, my boy. I actually saw your Invincible review. Like, I completely agree. Like, I absolutely love it. I think I love Invincible. I was actually thinking of actually talking about Invincible in like some other videos, like, and put it on the channel. So what do you guys think? What do you think, Vasi? Because I'm loving it. And with that said, Bill, have you actually heard of Invincible, Bill? Or because I think I mentioned it to you the other day, like to check it out on Amazon Prime. Bill?
Sorry, mate. I was taking off my jumper. It's got really hot in my little office. So I was like, I'll try and take this time where he's talking. But in the back of my mind, I knew that by the time I got back, you would have asked me a question.
As soon as I finished it, that was it. But no, my question was, Bill, have you actually had the chance to either have a look at an episode or anything for Invincible that's on Amazon Prime?
No, I haven't.
Mate.
I have been informed by yourself to give it a watch. I haven't got round to it just yet, but I think I will give it a check because I do keep hearing good things about it.
Mate, I watched the season finale last night, and oh my god, like, honestly, for a TV show that is just based on cartoon, I know it's a comic and that, but, like, they have got so many good actors in this thing, like, voicing over, and that literally every episode there's something like, that was amazing, kind of thing, and the final episode was just absolutely, like, god, it's horrific, but it's insane, like, it's so sick. But mate, I've literally just seen, have a look on Cal Brick's films, like, he just has said it himself, like, episode 8 is going to give me nightmares, like, like, honestly, it was so good, like, Omni-Man, the man, like, it's sick. Anyway, so you guys have obviously come here to talk about or listen to Bill's review of Mortal Kombat. So the way that we're going to do this, like, obviously just from looking on the screen now, we're playing Mortal Kombat 11. So Bill, what I'm actually thinking of probably doing, man, is like I'll ask you a couple of questions, or ask you a question, and we'll just bounce off it from each other, and like, yeah, just go like do a couple of things each on each character. So like if you like wanted to have like a couple of combos first, and then like when you're ready, just say like, or like I'll just notice if you're being not active as much, and we'll go from there. What'd you say, man?
Yeah, man, I'm happy to do it. However, obviously, if you want, maybe at some point a little bit later, maybe start a cough up, get some.
Yeah. So if there's anyone in this chat that is actually going to be on PlayStation 4 for Mortal Kombat 11, by all means you can like message us, and yeah, we'll get you involved, and yeah, we'll go from there. Really, I'm going to try and see if we can try and get this podcast to about like the hour mark from this point. So I don't actually know like how long we're actually been going for, but again, like we'll get the timestamps, and yeah, we'll go from there. So Bill, like again, welcome to the chat, man, and yeah, so
thank you.
What were your thoughts, man? Like, I'm excited to actually hear your thoughts about this overall, because from what I said yesterday, like an overall view, I gave it a 6.10. 6.10, sorry, a 6 out of 10 for rating. But like, what were your thoughts overall, man? Like, we'll come to your rating like at the end of the podcast, and like, but what did you think overall?
Okay. It depends on what perspective you're watching the film. So obviously, from being someone that loves Mortal Kombat to the extent that I do, I can appreciate it as a good. However, do I think it's a good representation of Mortal Kombat? And the answer to that is no. Like, there's just so much missing that needs to be in that film. Like, it just, the lore of Mortal Kombat is, you know, you can go from two different perspectives. You can either go from the NetherRealm games or the Midway games, and it just feels like they just didn't go for either.
Okay.
It just feels like they went for we'll take a little bit out of here, we'll take a little bit out of there, and we'll make our own. Obviously, you know, I think when the trailers and that were first shown, everyone was a little bit skeptical about what Cole Young's involvement in the storyline was going to be. Personal take, I hate Cole Young. I think it's just a pathetic excuse of a character.
Excellent.
There's a lot that I just did not get on with the film of,
Okay.
From an MK perspective. However, I can appreciate, I think, the casting. Server is coming.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there, man. So we'll get another like invite going. I'll send you one now.
Right.
Yeah, I'll send you one now.
I think in terms of casting, they've made some really great choices in who they've casted to represent. You know, some of the longest surviving characters in the franchise, and even some other characters that, you know, we haven't seen as much of. I think aesthetically they've done well. You know, some of the attire of characters, just mannerisms and stuff like that. I think in terms of the actual characters' presentation in the film is well done.
Yeah.
bar Cole Young, because Cole Young can go die. But
wow, straight for the field.
I really strongly despise Cole Young. I can't even express how much I did not enjoy his character.
Okay.
But I think there's a lot in that film that could have been done so much better.
Yeah.
I do think that the representation of the hate between Bihan and Hanzo was very well executed. Yeah. And I do the starting scene, you know, with obviously everyone who has seen it, they'll know what it is. I don't want to get too much into like how everything starts and stuff, just in case there are some people that haven't seen it.
Oh well, bigger this. I see this as like a spoiler review anyway, man. But like, you don't have to go into like full on explaining of what happens, kind of thing. Because I'm just assuming that everyone's watched it at this point, kind of thing. That's going to be watching. So like, yeah, go like just do what you like want to say, mate. Vassie's even saying, like, I think poor Cole, like.
Who's saying poor Cole?
Vassie reviews. Yeah, no, but it's not like I get what you're saying, Bill. Like, to be fair, they've got so many other characters within the Mortal Kombat universe, and like they could have easily changed had someone else there. Basically, like, I don't feel like they needed to bring a brand new character that we don't know who this person is. Yeah. So, Bassie is now saying, bring on all the spoilers. So, yeah, literally just go rip, mate. But, yeah, I see what you're saying, though, man. Like, because Cole, for me, like, I think it's because, like, it's different because, again, like, I've obviously been following this film for about the last, like, God knows how many years, since Rebirth, like 10 years ago. And, like, they've constantly been saying that there's going to be this character for, like, the last 4 or 5 years. So I've kind of, like, adapted to it. But because I understand, like, obviously you love the lore as well. And, like, I know that you obviously joined it through, like, MKX and stuff. But, like, it's still... There's still so many other characters that they could have done, and I understand again that they didn't do it for Johnny Cage, but because technically in the lore he doesn't really come in until the tournament really begins. But then again, you can actually say that with Sonya Blade as well, really. So,
there's so many characters you can argue that about, because again, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no real timeline with what that film showed. You know, you could say, like, is this meant to be a representation of the first Mortal Kombat tournament, which obviously we all know about in terms of the storyline and the lore of Mortal Kombat. But then you look at the introduction of characters that they've brought in, just at how the supposed tournament was ran. Obviously, there was no tournament, so, you know, you could even argue then that it's not even based on the original Mortal Kombat, or you know, and it's more a representation of maybe the second tournament, shall we say, or the second timeline where, you know, Shao Kahn invades Earthrealm rather than actually goes through the tournament setting. And even that, it's just it really annoyed me. Like, obviously, you know, we had discussions prior to me watching the film, and you said to go in with an open mind when watching it. So obviously, yesterday when I sat down and finally got into watching the film, anyone who's on this stream and heard my call yesterday, I had a lot of issues with my computer system. Finally got it working, and was able to watch it. And, you know, there was a lot that I did enjoy about the film. But I just think in terms, and again, I say it's a good film. It's not a good Mortal Kombat film, but for someone who's maybe not an avid Mortal Kombat fan, or, you know, wanting it to stick to MK lore or whatever, it's a good film. So, you know, for the masses, shall we say, you know, a lot of people can enjoy it. That, you know, go and watch it as an action film. You can go and watch it as some kind of fantasy film.
Yeah.
And it will pique a lot of people's interest in regards to them kind of audiences.
Yeah.
However, for myself personally, and hoping that this was going to be better than Annihilation, and then watching it and feeling that Annihilation is now the second best Mortal Kombat movie we've ever had.
Do you reckon now?
Really
Do you? So hang on. Do you really think that Annihilation is better than this one?
He's better.
Do you reckon? Wow, that's a state. Like I have heard other people say that, and okay, I'm not obviously respecting people's like comments and everyone's opinions. So no hating on Bill here, but fuck me, Bill. I was not expecting that.
Hate all you want.
I was not fucking expecting that, mate.
Hate all you want, man. I can take the hate. The hate is fine because you know hate divides opinion.
Yeah. So I was actually, that's crazy, mate. I was not honestly expecting that. That's, but mate, that's fair. Like each to their own opinion. But like, what makes you think? What makes you think? What makes you feel? Sorry, that like Annihilation could actually now really like stand out to like that actually being better than this. Like, what was it that really like had that for you, kind of thing? Was it that the Mortal Kombat theme tune was actually in there, like the proper one?
Yeah, that's it. They had the theme song and that's it. Apart from that, everything after that point was just terrible.
I don't like. The mix to the intro.
The fact that every character.
Go on.
The fact that every character in the film was a Mortal Kombat character and not some rando picked up.
Even if Johnny did die within the first 5 minutes of the film, like he was there.
No, we won't talk about that. We won't talk about it.
It didn't happen. Don't tell anyone. I was asleep for the first 5 minutes. Like, weren't we all? But no, I'm only joking. But mate, no. To be fair, I see like I see your views, man. Like that's fair enough. If you think or feel that Annihilation is like stronger than this, I think over time, like there are going to be some other points as well that I'll be seeing from this film, but like. Yeah, I didn't think it was as bad as Annihilation personally. Like Annihilation just stands out for me as a film that I will watch. Like Amy could come in right now, or like my girlfriend could come in right now and just be like, "What is this Mortal Kombat Annihilation?" And I'll say, "Look, it is like the biggest pile of crap that you've ever gonna see in your life. But if you want to watch it, I will." And then she'll say yes, and I'll watch it, you know. But like. Yeah, it
is a complete waste of a couple of hours of your life. But if you want to spend it that way, I will do
it. Because I love you and I love Mortal Kombat. Just very quickly, just got to have a quick look at some of the comments on here. So, Cal Brick Films, just in case you guys don't know it yet, but Daniel Nelson, aka Cabal, in the Mortal Kombat movie has tweeted before the release of the movie, choose 3 of your favourite characters you want to see in the sequel except Johnny Cage. So that would be an interesting thing to actually talk about, like maybe a little bit later, if not at like a later stream. But what do you think, like very quickly, Bill, who would you actually like to see, like 3 characters?
3 characters I would like to see.
Yeah, for the sequel. That we're actually just going to assume at the moment that they are going to be doing the tournament. They're not going to be doing any spin-offs or anything. So if we say like the next movie is going to be the tournament based Mortal Kombat, what 3 characters would you like to see except Johnny Cage?
Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
Ermac.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a sucker for a robot, so I'll go with Sector.
Fair play, mate. Fair play. I like that. For me personally, Ermac, like I have to back you on that, Bill. Like, because Ermac for me, like, deserves to be in the first tournament. Like, it's just switching it up a bit, I think. yeah, I like the idea of having Ermac, like, just because at this point now, like, I don't think that we're gonna get like exactly 100% to the lore for the Mortal Kombat film. So like, as much as they can pull off at this stage, so I'm just gonna say Ermac. Switching it up again, like just adding another character. I think Aaron Black, just for the fans as well, but like it would make sense with his story. Obviously, like, yeah, him being a Western cowboy and assassin back then, and like Shang Tsung, like giving him immortality. But yeah, I think he's like I remember like Future and Dave was actually talking to me on Savage's podcast that unlucky, but Aaron Black was 500 years old or something like that, but I'm pretty sure he was only like 125, 150. I still haven't actually got around to checking that out yet, but I'm pretty sure it was only 125. But either or, like, I think Aaron Black would be a good one. So we've got Aaron Black, who else? Aaron Black, Ermac, and finally, I think I'm just going to have this as like a returning character because I love him and he did really well, like, to be fair, but Max Hung's Kung Lao, like, I really, really want to see Kung Lao come back. Not just for obvious reasons, but I think he was actually like one of the better like characters in the whole film. And obviously him being dead.
I feel he was very well. He represented Kung Lao very well.
It's insane.
He portrayed him so well. Like, his arrogance about him was spot on to what obviously we all know and love in the Kung Lao that we have in the games. Unfortunately, I'm not too well versed in knowing every actor's names.
No, that's fine. So I'll help anyone else out wants to go from there, man. It's a history lesson we'll build today, but let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
But yeah, I think obviously the characters that I feel were represented probably the best in the film were Kung Lao, Liu Kang. I really enjoyed Jackson Briggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel he was a very good representation, and I didn't mind. There was little things within like certain characters, Kano especially, being that his eye laser isn't. You know, if I do a stance switch right now, oh no, okay, let's try this side. There you go. Obviously, we're all used to seeing this massive chunk of his face having a bit of robot, you know, attached to it.
Yeah.
Whether it's the horrendous kind of, I don't know, VW Beetle hubcap from the first Mortal Kombat film, or, you know, however they portray it. Whereas in this, you know, when you see him get scratched up, you're thinking, all right, cool, maybe he's now gone blind in that eye. There's going to be some kind of storyline about him now getting some enhancement. And it turns out to almost be like, I don't even know, like Naruto, like summoning some chakra or something like that to all of a sudden bring out an eye laser. And it's like, don't tell me that because of a marking, that's how they get their special ability. Yeah. Like, that just defeats the purpose of these being the characters that they are.
Yeah, I'm glad that you actually touched on that then, because like I didn't really mention this too much in my review, and like I'm glad that you said it because it's given me like the opportunity to actually say it. But the Akana situation, like, I understand some of the things that they did. Like, obviously, like you might be able to help me out with this one, Bill. Obviously, going from MKX, but wasn't one of the variation names for Jax called Upgrades?
In MKX, you had heavy weapons, pumped up, and wrestler.
Right, yes, of course you did, right.
I think it's in this one, and it weren't Jax, I think it was Jackie had upgraded.
Ah, you might be right, actually.
As a variation, one of the tournament variations.
Yeah, well, I think that's what they're actually doing for Jax, is that they're actually saying that his Arcana was upgrades. But, like, I'm really sorry, I just, like, talking of, like, having Jax, he's actually in the background of MKX right now. Like, being done by my boy Kung Lao. it was just so ironic that basically the monks, like from the Temple Order of Light, they went to all these different realms, and they basically were like, look, don't worry, we know what we can do for Jax, we can sort out his arms and that'd be that. But then all of a sudden later then have like his arms and just get upgrades because of his Arcana. Like I didn't like that at all. Like there's just, like you say, there was the Arcana aspect of it just wasn't what I was expecting, because what was just annoying, like some of the things I did actually like appreciate, that like, you know, they like how they actually fitted in the Arcana for like Kung Lao, because they actually said like he was basically, like Liu Kang said, like unlike Kung Lao, he had to basically earn his marking, because obviously Kung Lao being Kung Lao, he's like the descendant from the great Kung Lao kind of thing, so that kind of made sense. Like I get that, like, and I thought that was good, but in terms of the actual Arcana idea, like it's
see, now my argument to that is as well, okay, you say that because obviously he's a descendant of the great Kung Lao, that he's obviously inherited it and stuff like that. However, we all know that in this film, Liu Kang obtains his by getting it from someone who had already had it.
Yeah.
And obviously from killing him.
Yeah.
So my question is, unless he was already had one himself, or it just simply cannot go from one realm to another realm, surely when the great Kung Lao was killed by Goro in the tournament, it would have transferred to Goro, no? So then how does it go back to Kung Lao? Do you see what I mean? So there's just not even like a way of going, because of this, you've now got this.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because I think you're right there, that they need to explain on that, because if like the great Kung Lao had that, or even with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, like would that mean then Sub-Zero would have the Arcana marking? Because he did die. He went to the Netherlands. he went to Amsterdam.
He went to
Amsterdam. No, he went to Netherrealm. But like, does it like? Would you actually then see that the marking should have really gone to Sub-Zero? Kind of thing, like that's the thing. I'm just so confused with things like that. I don't think like it was explained very well, and just some of the things that they did have for that, like where they had like Liu Kang, not actually explain who he could have got it from. It was just like, it was basically like something to do with like I think it was like human trafficking if I'm not mistaken. Like,
yeah, it was like some guy trafficking orphans, and obviously he was an orphan, and it enraged him, so therefore he killed him.
But he killed the guy. He killed the guy before he released his Arcana, and I thought the Arcana can only get it when you have the marking. So he didn't. He obtained the Arcana before he killed the guy.
Which then again conflicts the whole point of having the Arcana.
That's it. So I didn't understand that. So if any of you guys now that are actually listening to this, or like rewatching this, like trying to explain that to us, please, because I think that was like just a miss bit of information. I've watched it a couple of times though now, man, and I didn't get that. Like it just seemed a bit off. Like, yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, I didn't. So obviously, you know, you discussed about us doing this stream and that, and therefore I didn't want to kind of watch it too many times and start looking for certain Easter eggs and stuff like that. I wanted to just kind of have that first impression when joining the stream today. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I probably will go back and watch it another 2 or 3 times. And there have been some little Easter eggs that people shared, such as, you know, like Sub-Zero's inputs on the wall behind them and stuff like that. There's little details like that are really good, you know, and some of the other less subtle, you know, like Cole Young going, oh, well, they spelt it wrong for Mortal Kombat. Because we, you know, when you first got introduced to Mortal Kombat, you at least know 1 or 2 people that when you first showed them the case of a disc, they went, why is Kombat spelled with a K? Because obviously, you know, everyone's had that kind of question. So that did make me laugh when hearing that. You know, the picture of the Mapoka on the wall. I thought that was great to have a little Nightwolf Easter egg in there and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was cool.
He's another character I'd love to see in one of the future future.
God, definitely
would be Nightwolf.
Definitely.
I think they could represent him really well.
Now, it's funny you say that, right? Because with Nightwolf, I know a lot of people that got really confused at that bit as well. Because if you're listening to the dialogue, like, instead of like looking into like the Easter eggs that are being shown right in front of you, knowing as an MK fan, you're like, oh my god, that's Nightwolf. Oh my god, that's like Kotal Khan. Like, all that stuff going on. Like, there was a bit of dialogue that kind of confused a lot of people because they were saying that like Sonya went after someone who basically had the mark in, and they were in Brazil. But then basically because she was saying that and then saying, oh, but like they died or Kano killed him or whatever, it basically implied that basically it was Nightwolf that was the guy in Brazil, and then everyone was like, well, why is he in Brazil? Kind of thing. I was like, I think people have looked into that like in a complete different way. They're actually just having like a complete different story, and they've just got Nightwolf appearing there. It's not to say like the Brazil like incident happened to be Nightwolf kind of thing, so therefore Nightwolf's dead. I don't think that's what they're saying. But yeah, just very quickly, man, I'm just going to go through the chat because we're actually at the 30-minute mark from actually doing the stream now. So let's just have a quick see. Bring in spoilers, just in case. Right, yeah, so we just got from Cal Brick actually saying about Cabal's thing. So yeah, Cal Brick is also saying about Katana. Katana's also confirmed basically. For the sequel, but I'm only saying, like, we haven't actually got any actresses or anything like that, have we, to actually say who is going to be Katana, so that'll be a good one. I really thought, like, Bill, I don't know if you know this, Mel Johnson, the woman who played Nitara, right, for absolutely ages, they didn't know who was actually going to be Katana, or who Mel Johnson was going to play. And they had this other, like, I think it was the stunt woman, as Nitara showed on IMDb. But then, like, literally, I think it wasn't long before the film was actually released in certain parts of the world that they actually came out and went, oh no, Mel Johnson is actually Nitara. And, like, I called the fact that I think it was going to be Katana. Like, I generally thought this woman was going to be Katana. She looks it, but... like literally like a week or two before they just like changed it to being like, yeah, no, Mel Johnson's actually Nitara. So yeah, that's like, yeah, that's a bit of a missed opportunity there for me personally. I think she looked pretty good as Katana. But what else? So yeah, Vasi's actually saying I wasn't invested in Cole at all, like in capitals letters as well. So yeah, Bill, you're not the only one that's feeling that.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just a shame. Like, it is a shame. But hopefully, if they are going to do him justice, like, they have to do something. I don't know. Maybe they could just kill him off. Like, to be fair,
it'd be good for the franchise.
It'd be good for the franchise. Sorry, Lewis Tan, but like, to be fair, nothing against Lewis Tan at all. Like, look, I think him as an actor, he done really well. Like, I think he done like Cole, like, justice in the sense of like being a character, but
he portrayed the character as best as he could. It's just, obviously wanting it to be a Mortal Kombat film, like we said earlier, you've got a whole array of characters to choose from. Why are you going to introduce some random new character?
Yeah.
And then of all things go, oh, he's a descendant of Hanzo Hasashi. Yeah. Like, it's just too cliche.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I just weren't feeling
and the fact that his special ability is to... I mean, when I first saw the trailer, I thought somehow it was going to be, and I really hoped it would have been, I thought Cole Young was going to somehow end up becoming Tremor.
Yeah.
And that was on the basis that obviously he's now got this body armor around.
Yeah.
See, like, and it was just, it kind of had that elemental side of things. You could almost relate it to MKX with metallic, because obviously it had that slightly gold brass shimmer to it. And I just think that would have been so cool. Like, it would have just completely thrown everyone under the bus. Like, if they just all of a sudden was like, yeah, by the way, this is Tremor. Like,
Yeah. Oh my
that would have blew me away.
Like, yeah, like that. They needed a somewhat of a twist to actually be like, no, Cole Young is actually this guy. Because did you like, Bill? Do you hear this, man? Like, loads of people were saying this to me throughout like months of actually trying to find out who Cole Young was. And do you think like Kuai Liang sounds like Cole Young? Like, it sounds similar, like Cole Young, Kuai Liang.
Yeah.
Because I don't get that. Like, don't just feel like you need to agree or anything, but like, I generally don't hear that. And loads of people were like, "Oh my god, familiar." Yeah, Kuai Liang. I was like, "What?" I don't get that.
It sounds familiar, but I wouldn't say that it's familiar enough for me to be like, "Oh, 100% that's it." Like, you know, it's not that kind of. It's not that kind of connection that I would make, not by a long.
Nah, I just didn't hear it. So, but I called this well before like the trailers or anything to do with Cole Young was even out. Like, it was still gonna be something to do with Hanzo Hasashi's like bloodline. Like I say, I thought it was Satoshi at first, but like I didn't take in the fact about the years it was done, because like it was done in feudal Japan. And yeah, I just thought it was going to be the kid, like Hanzo's kid, but it wasn't. It was like literally a great grandchild of him, and yeah, I don't know, that was like, yeah, literally when I hear that, I'd literally, you know, like Futurama, when like the first ever episode when he first comes back from fucking, like he goes into the future and he's like, Leela's like his great nephew, Hubert Farnsworth or whatever. I was like, that was literally, when I see this, I'm just like, yeah, that's what it is. It's like, God knows how many greats. So just, yeah, the descendant. I don't really, don't see it. So, yeah, so I've got a couple more questions for you, Bill Boy, but I am just going to read a couple more things from the chat. But basically, Vasi was actually saying now that you can say that we could have could have had like Sonya as a main character, not having the marking and trying to find her way and then her getting the marking instead of having Cole Young. Like, if... Yeah,
I would have probably much preferred that, to be perfectly honest. I think that would have been a lot better way of doing it, because it just... I think the way that they represented Sonya not having the marking and that was probably one of the only like good points within the film. You know, and her kind of being exiled from everyone else and then turning out to show that she can fight with the best of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's probably, you know, for a lot of people, it might be slightly empowering to see a woman being able to do that. But, you know, that's probably on a slight different scale of what it is. But, yeah, I'd say that, you know, they've done a really good job with Sonya. You know, even to the point of Liu Kang and Kung Lao being like, can't train with us because you're not a contender. You know, and having that arrogance about lineage and, you know, having the marking and only people marked can be part of the tournament. It just... I feel the idea of the marking being your invitation is a great idea. Just everything else behind it just was not well executed.
It is a shame that I that's basically how I see it as well. Like, it was a real shame that, like, they have all these tools to use to be able to make something great, to be completely honest, and they just haven't. And like, there was, again, I don't think I actually touched on this on my review as such, but Kung Lao's death, right? I'm sorry, but what Cole Young holding back Liu Kang, I'm literally, when I saw that happening, all I was thinking around Ludemans, man, was like, do a dragon kick, like not the bicycle kick, just literally fly in and kick Shang Tsung, do something. Like, what is going on? Like, he's not being held back or anything. You know what I mean? Like, I think that would have been such a good way to even just show Liu Kang's special move just from that, even if they didn't want to use that, like have another fireball or something. But like, it was like we saw it being taken away, and he's holding him back, and like. You got Cabal and Rico there, like, just trying to, like, do whatever, like, trying to stop him, and then he just, yeah, I just found it was too easy. Like, it was far too easy for him to, like, die, which wasn't the problem. It was the fact that, like, no one was helping him. And then afterwards, like, Raiden was just like, oh, sorry, Liu Kang. It's like, yeah, like, what? Like, no.
Almost like a little pat on the back. Yeah. Get up, lad, there's another one coming.
We're sorry.
Oh, could you imagine? That'd be brilliant. Just halfway through the film.
We're sorry.
When you lose your brother, we're sorry.
Oh, did you want to see a little bit more Natara? We're sorry.
Although, I tell you what, actually, I think not having Natara in for that long, and the way that they executed her out of the film as well, I think that was great. Yeah. I did enjoy that bit.
Yeah, fair.
Again, like, I think representation of certain characters in the film were done well. Like, I think Cabal was very well executed. Reiko, aesthetically, he looked good. I think I just wanted to kind of, like, there was a lot of the characters in there that I wanted to learn about more.
Yeah.
And obviously, I understand making a I'm doing like finger quotation marks, but a blockbuster film. You obviously need to get a lot of information in a short period of time to the audience to keep them engaged.
Yeah.
And I think that's where this film has struggled massively. Is they've tried to let everyone get to know the main characters of Mortal Kombat that we all know, whilst also chucking in some random and giving them a backstory of their own and getting people to learn who this person is, but then focusing on that person so much that you then lose the backstory of a lot of the other characters. You know, and they said from the start it weren't going to be complete Mortal Kombat lore.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think maybe I should have, in hindsight, maybe looked upon that being said a lot more when watching the film.
Yeah.
But I just think if you're going to do a representation of Mortal Kombat, there's certain things that you just shouldn't add in or get rid of.
Yeah. Mate, not gonna lie, straight away, as soon as you say that, like, I said it yesterday, I'm saying it again, Shinnok's amulet, love the fact it was in there, but what the fuck were they doing? Like, having Kano literally just pick that up, like, acting like it was nothing, like, he just went, he saw something in the museum and picked it up, like, do you know what I mean? What was that about, personally? I didn't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot of areas like that. You know, it just... It's kind of heartbreaking that I just didn't enjoy the film as much as I wanted to enjoy it. But there are areas in which I can enjoy it. I think some of the fight sequences were very well executed. You know, the choreography for obviously the way they executed it, camera angles and stuff like that. I think just cinematic lighting that they used. Aesthetically, it's a very pleasing film, and I think they've executed it with the right level of darkness, shall we say, that obviously Mortal Kombat can be. In terms of gore, I feel like there was a great amount of gore that obviously we know Mortal Kombat is very over the top with how they do fatalities, brutalities, and just in general the amount of blood that is spilled in the game.
Yeah.
But in terms of the actual storyline, that's where it was all let down for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the biggest things that I was really annoyed about was in the trailer, obviously, we all saw Goro launching in the air, you know, all forearms, like, getting ready to absolute pummel Cole Young.
Yeah.
Thinking this is going to be, like, some heavy endgame fight scene, you know, or whatever. And it turns out that it's, like, his first major fight with a character from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
You know, the guy that was the big bad, the guy that ripped apart the Great Kung Lao, and this nobody that's just turned up, you know, and the whole cliche of I need to protect my family, and that's where he gets like his special, like it just it's too common Hollywood crap.
Yeah, like I see what you're saying, because like I know that they were trying to go around the fact that there was like that's how obviously like Scorpion lost his fight from losing his family and stuff like that, and then vice versa, like it was going to happen to Cole, but like that's all I can say about it is really, like there isn't really much that I can really even add to that, unfortunately. But what was just very quickly, sorry mate, again just going on to the chat, like we've had some more people join, so yo, what up? King Sayo TV, thanks so much for joining on another stream with me, my man, like really means a lot. Shaggy, yo, you're right Shaggy, how you doing, my man? Love a bit of Shaggy, mate. Bill, like Shaggy has actually done, like Shaggy was also in my video, man. He done the picture for Jax with like the blood coming down in his arms.
Yeah, great work. Great work.
Absolutely insane. So, mate, told you, Shaggy. I was telling my boys about you. So, you got skill, boy. Keep it up. Make sure you finish your work, mate. Because Shaggy actually has like a habit of like starting his work and then just not finishing it. And like he sent me some of his other work that he hasn't finished. I'm like, as if you haven't finished that, and it looks insane. Like, so Shaggy, from me, man. Like, you need to upload your stuff, mate. So yeah, who else have we got? Like just like going back from some of the guys. So Cal Bricks was actually saying that he would like to see Shao Kahn, and he's also got Kotal Khan and maybe Takeda for him to see in the sequel. Takeda would be an interesting one. Yeah, I don't know how they would actually pull that off if they were going to do tournament based and having Takeda as that just yet. So that would be an interesting one to see, I think. But I
think obviously it depends on how many films they're planning on doing.
Well, so far
I think eventually they could bring in the Kombat kids, as everyone calls them. But at the same, I just don't really see to do the timeline in that way. Because obviously, you know, if watching the film, like Sonya's nowhere near the age of someone that's gonna, you know, have a child with Johnny and that, and it just, I can't see them kind of advancing the timeline that sudden out of nowhere between, you know, probably let's say the next film and then the film after, even if they tried to do it that quick. I think it would just be silly if they just missed that many years in the timeline. But I'm not sure about you, mate, but my screen is
I think that's actually just thrown you out. I don't know what's happened.
Great.
Don't know what happened there, but it's...
Oh, no.
Are you back? Right, what's happened?
Prince Bellissimo has left the game. Jason Yeldel has left the game.
Oh, yeah, mine's actually still working. If you were to leave, mate, I'll re-add you back in anyway, so...
Yeah, I did get kicked.
Yeah,
right.
fair enough.
Nice.
I'll re-add you back in.
Cheers, MK.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Thanks, Neverrealm. Yeah. Great service.
I love it, mate. But yeah, I've just re-added you back in anyway, mate. But yeah, so yeah, that'd be interesting to actually see how they would actually go around that. Having Takeda in there, but yeah, it's just all about the Kombat kids. I think like it's, you know, like you got Cassie Cager on the screen right now, kind of thing. So, irony. Who else do we actually have at the moment? I blame the editor for all the continuity issues. Yes, 100%. There was definitely the editing was just actually like obviously Bill's only seen this from like a first point viewing, so Bill, this would actually be an interesting thing. Did you actually see like throughout the film there was like a lot of cuts when you was watching the fight? Yeah. Did you? Because like when I first watched it, like,
sharp cuts as well. Like not it weren't even like a smooth transition. It was sharp cuts.
Yeah. Like, it was just...
I mean, it weren't even just the first scene. It looked like there was a lot of cuts in that where it just kind of, it just almost jolted when watching it, and it hurt your eyes a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it did with me personally.
Yeah, I mean, even Ludeman said the same thing. Like, there was times that I was watching it and, like, I was like, oh, God. And then even Ludeman spotted it. I was like, oh, my God. Like, that's not good. Like, if... Not saying that Ludeman wouldn't be able to see any of that. If anything, he would be. But it's the fact that he's actually just sitting back enjoying the film and, like, he's noticed that. I'm like, oh, God, if that's actually happened, like, that's not good. I wonder how many other people are going to spot it. But then, yeah, I just noticed it from, like, loads of other people as well, saying that kind of thing. So...
I'm not sure if you've just got my invite, but I'm in a different King of the Hill because your one was apparently full.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I haven't got the invite yet, but let me just go into that. While we're still getting into that.
There we go.
So, yeah, Vasi, 100%, completely agree. So, yeah, definitely. Sorry for the audio, guys, won't be too long. But, yeah, so that was that. That's fine. Just having a look here. I just wondered if Shaggy says I just wonder if at any point of the sequels any will come up with an idea to actually hit Cole's unarmored body parts.
It's just the very cliche thing of aim for the head.
Yeah, aim for that. That is it. Literally, in every situation, just aim for the head. Either that or the balls, mate. Like, depending on what situation you're actually in.
Like, I don't know why, when he got that armor, Goro's still like, I'm going to aim for this part of the body that's covered now with red glowing, energy and can hurt me. Like,
It was...
Yeah.
It was definitely like a Black Panther fight, wasn't it? Like, it was getting punched about. Like, it was getting like the ground pound kind of thing, wasn't he? Goro on Cole Young for his Black Panther ability to be able to work. Like,
it was a Russo brother that made the film, so I guess.
Good old Greg Russo on the right.
Guess he needed to get a Marvel reference in there somewhere.
Yeah, that is true. Like, I'm not gonna lie though, I'm actually gonna give a shout out to like Greg Russo because like I'm not gonna hate on the fact of the writing because like I didn't like what was written or like what the dialogue in some of the situations and that, but like again because like I've gone through this journey of like having the hype build up for me of another Mortal Kombat film coming out and like okay all this stuff was being announced and how they were going to do it. Like I knew Johnny Cage was not going to be in it for like over a couple of years, but yeah it was what was it? Sorry, I was just actually having a look into that. Sorry, I was actually lost my train of thought. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Chris, welcome to the stream, mate. Like, no need to apologise if you're late. Yeah, sorry, I'm actually lost. Where was I exactly? Sorry.
He's talking about Johnny not being in it and Greg Russo.
Oh yeah, yeah. So in terms of Greg Russo, like, I'm not gonna hate on anything because like he's come in where like people have like given him like the formula. Like Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema like was like you can't change like the 2016 scripts or the 2018 scripts a lot. Like you kind of have to have like this kind of same like premise of the film happening. So I appreciate like some of the things that I heard that he did have changed. I'm actually looking forward to actually having Bran, Mr. Midnight Owl on the Roundcast to actually hear the differences between the 2018 script to what we actually received. Because that is going to be really interesting to hear. I want to speak to Bran anyway to actually see if he'll be willing to come on here because I've got a couple of questions for him which hopefully he can answer for me. But yeah, in terms of Greg Russo, like he literally just had like so many points where he was given the script to do certain things. And like he did what he could. He is a Mortal Kombat fan. He's a huge Katana fan. So the fact like he even like is a huge Katana fan and he didn't even get his own character in the film kind of says something. But at the same time, I'm just seeing it as like Joe Taslim, the guy that is Sub-Zero. He signed up for 4 more films. I'm
4. So they're already like
4 more films. Yeah, he's come out like not. They haven't exactly said it's 100% what is going to be done with him, whether it's going to be as Sub-Zero or Noob Saibot, but he has signed up for 4, and yeah, I just hope that they're going to give them a bit of more of a bigger budget to work with, and just something that they're, I don't know, like they need to make this next one right, like not just for the fans, like to actually make it different in Hollywood cinema, because Mortal Kombat is not a Hollywood film, like for me. It's not. It shouldn't be, anyway. It's a martial art film. Like, it's hand-to-hand combat. Like, yeah, you do have weapons and stuff like that, like you did in 95 film, but there was such a lack of hand-to-hand combat in that, really. So, yeah, it's a difficult one, for sure. But yeah, with that said, like, Bill's actually getting into this game as we speak. Like, he's good old Johnny Cage right now. Like Bill, like just we're gonna be like wrapping it up very very soon. So Bill, like this is actually where he's gonna come into our like kind of wrapping up points kind of thing. So out of your rating, like overall as a Mortal Kombat fan, as a person that actually just sat down and watched the film, what would you actually give this film as a rating out of 10?
For the average fan, I'd say it's around a 7.
Okay.
However, my personal rating, I'd probably say around 4 or 5.
Well, okay. So if we actually did like a ratio kind of thing, we would say like what if it's like what 5.5 or 6?
Oh.
Do you want to say something like that, like an overall?
Yeah, I just.
I mean, don't
it was
let me.
lackluster.
Yeah, don't let me like make the review for you. Like you
I'd
say,
say,
you better say it's
I'd say maximum
10.
I would give it. The maximum I would give it would be a 4.
A 4. Wow, that's that is low. That is low. But you know, that's it's just frustrating, isn't it? Oh, what's happened here? Can you hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
I don't know what's happened there. Having some.
You've been kicked out.
Oh, I've been kicked out, have I? Oh.
No, have you?
Yeah, it looks like I have. Yeah, checking the error statuses. It's just action.
The servers have been terrible today.
Update the application to do. Yeah, I really don't know what's going on today, but yeah, I suppose that's actually near enough a good time to pretty much wrap it up anyway, I suppose. But yeah, like I just want to take another quick a couple of minutes actually just to say like a massive thank you to like all you guys that was actually like taking the time out to actually listen to us today. Like Bill, did you like just while we're wrapping a few things up, mate, like did you want to like plug yourself in, like do you want to just give yourself like a bit of more of a like something for your own business, maybe a certain business you want to talk about, mate? Give yourself literally just give your literally have the plugins, mate, like plug yourself in, like tell us where we can find you on Twitter, Instagram and wherever else. Go for it, mate, tell us.
So what Lou's referring to is I run a little side business, restoring, cleaning, and just it's like a sneaker cleaning service that I do. It includes also restoration projects. You know, if you need maybe a soul reglue or repainting, then I'm on Instagram as @7sneakers, all one word. So yeah, if you want to come check us out, you know, obviously I show some of the work that I'm doing, obviously some of the pickups that I get. Last year, thanks to lockdown, the collection's grown quite a bit, probably not to the surprise and happiness of my other half. So yeah, come give us a follow on Instagram, that'd be great. If you want to talk to me on Twitter, then the Twitter handle is, I believe, Bootstrap Bill 92, but missing the second T, so it's actually Bootstrap 92 @Bootstrap 92. So I'll probably tweet something out a little bit later, or I might even comment on one of Lou's posts. So if you want to, please do so. That'd be great. And yeah, it's been great. I've really enjoyed being on here.
Oh,
Lou. Thanks for inviting me, mate.
Honestly, I've actually loved having you on here, man. It's actually so good. It seems like all the other guys on here were actually loving you on here as well, Bill, man. So thanks so much for actually doing this. It's awesome to actually hear one of my boys talk about the Mortal Kombat film
For the
boys, for the Lin Kuei, for the Shirai Fi Yu, for the boys. For the boys. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So with that said, guys, massive thank you. Just gotta wrap it up there. I'm just gonna say, what are your guys' thoughts? Did you actually really enjoy the film overall? What do you think about Bill's opinions on Mortal Kombat not being as good as Mortal Kombat Annihilation? Hot topic here with the But mate, yeah, absolutely love it. And yeah, just before I let you go, I am doing a giveaway for the Mortal Kombat Blood and Thunder issue 1 Malibu comic that was done in the 90s. Bill has actually gone off and committed himself for this competition. But yeah, if you want to enter it yourself, all you have to do is simply subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications bell, then just go over to my giveaway video and comment the word done. Once we have actually got to that 1,000 subscriber mark, we will just simply be doing a random comment picker to select the winner. So yeah, again guys, I wish you the best of luck. I'll like to watch Mortal Kombat again, just keep watching it. Hopefully we'll get the ratings to go up higher. I'll get Bill to watch it again. You never know, getting back on here, it might even go up to 4.5, who knows.
It might even be better than Annihilation.
Yeah, it might even be better than Annihilation, who knows. But yeah guys, if you love Mortal Kombat just as much as I do, then I will catch you on the next one.